we're hoping to add a few just to help, really. I think this is your last opportunity today to create depth in your squad is what we would try and do. I think ideally you're obviously always trying to improve your starting 11, but let's see what happens today. We've got a few irons in the fire, and let's see whether they come to fruition. They don't always, of course, because they're only discussions with clubs. So I sit here with an open mind. I've got first and foremost concentrating on training. We've got training today and preparing for a game, which is the most important thing, and then we'll see what this afternoon brings. Yeah, well, it's all a bit hectic. The fact that we're talking in the morning rather than a normal afternoon thing is basically around action this afternoon. Hopefully we're doing things, we're meeting people, we're trying to sort out final details of deals, but training is important. That's why you start early in this profession, in this job. You staff are in all early, and so yeah, it's okay. It's not too much disruption, but the phone is extraordinarily busy on a day like today. You know, people generally think that you're blagging them because you're not answering their calls, but here I am sitting in a press conference with my phone vibrating in my pocket, and we've just prepared how many players are injured this morning, how many players are training, what's the session about, what's the theme of the day. Yeah, I think that's how generally it works, and that's why the deadline day is generally pretty busy. You can try and force, you can be really aggressive and try and force deals. Sometimes the deals come to you and out of the blue because, as you said, really a domino effect. Something's happened somewhere else and now they need to replace and they're asking about this, or they want to sell that to bring this person in, and so you have to make them last second decisions really sometimes, even all the best planning. But then something throws all that out of sync because this looks a deal that's too good to turn down, and that's why you get some deals where you do think, where did that come from? Never saw that happening, because generally it falls in your lap and you think, right, we're going to take that deal, and so that's how it works sometimes. But for most of the summer you are working along a plan, what positions you want to strengthen, which players you're trying to target, which managers you're talking to, but the madness of the last day is always there and can change things. Yeah, okay, I think the job is always to improve, to get better, look for continual improvement. So new signings always take a bit of time to settle in. You know, ideally we always talk about this every year, of you'd like them all before pre-season starts, and yet the realism of that it doesn't happen. And so here we are, transfer deadline day, still thinking there's going to be a few in. Well, if they do come in today, it potentially could take them 3-4 weeks to get used to how we play, the demands of what we do in this football club, how the team functions, and yet you have to win games as you go along. So how quickly do they get in the starting 11? How much video work do they do? How much training on the grass? When are they ready? How fit have they been? How much work have they done through pre-season? All of that stuff, you have to assess their physicality and their ability to play in your technical team. So let's see what today brings. Let's would I be happy with the squad if nobody comes in? Okay, yeah, okay. I think, and yet every team, every manager should be sitting there thinking there's areas to improve. So even when you improve an area, let's say the next window, you might want to improve it even more. Have you got more funds? Have you got less funds? Generally better players cost more money, and so the more funds you might have, the better players you might be able to get, and your targets lift up a tier from a certain player to a player that's played at a much different level and a much higher level, and now you can afford him, so you sign that one instead. It's that's why you need a recruitment department, in my opinion, to give you tiers of footballers at different levels, free transfers, £10 million, if you're working at top teams, £50 million, it's and you get what you pay for generally.
Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.